I didn't want to lose the momentum, so the request was made. And I'm happy that I can see you spent a good day-long conversation on this. A crisp report has been given, but I'll certainly look forward to very quickly having the summary of what's come out of today, although I know there are two more that we're doing, one in Visakhapatnam and the other one which is going to be in Patna, is it? So we wanted to ensure that we give opportunity for the stakeholders to talk about the GCC universe. I was, of course, pleasantly surprised when I was having my team tell me about the developments, that in India since 1985 we've had GCCs. That was a strange factoid which came before me. Since 85. So since 85, when the world knew about BPOs, we still had something called GCC then. But then it took nearly 30 years, or even slightly more than that, to reach a number of 1,000 GCCs in India. So it was too slow to grow, or probably that's how it was evolving to reach the status of a GCC. But post reaching the 1,000 in, say, about 2015 to 2024, one more 1,000 got added to the number. So the rapidity with which GCC grew after 2015 is noteworthy. But post that is the time when we have to really set the pace as much as it is expected from those who want to come and set up GCCs in India. So for that, what are the concerns? Now, even from this presentation, without looking at what I have before me, what I brought to convey, I can see that what the union government has set forth in the budget, if it has to effectively give us that kind of an advantage in setting up GCCs in India, bringing talent pool together to be able to give the advantage and make sure that the other governance related support is being provided, it has to really come from the union down to the states levels. And that's where the suggestion which was briefly put before us, that the governing mechanism will have to be now institutionalized and also made to literally keep running with this horse. So really, if the governing council, the Niti Aayog, other departments will all have to sit together and post that tick to the states and from the states even to the third tier, there's work there. So it's not just the tax. Yes, there is something about the tax as well. I'm not forgetting that. But there is something which we have to literally, in a way, lubricate the entire administrative and governing mechanism top down to make sure the same energy prevails everywhere and the same buzz really gives the facility for us to set up without much of a worry, where actually all over India the advantage is ready for everybody to capture. So if that is one of the things that you have come up with, I see that there's been a thorough discussion, and that's where you were able to put this structural requirement before us. So it's one thing for me to take that on and then see how best I can have the government work together for that purpose. But on the advanced pricing and the ruling, tax-related ruling, I think some work was done in this budget. I don't know if it has come down in the form of rules and regulations which will have to be stated outside. I know at least of 2 cases where without my intervention, very quick decisions were taken, relief was given so that they don't have to come every year seeking a guidance on the advanced price ruling. So those steps have already commenced. And I would think that will be applicable for the GCCs as well. I know of the instances which are not related to GCC, where advanced pricing mechanism and the ruling and everything else could be now on a predictable platform. So I'm sure that applies to GCC by my understanding, but let me check it up and have some relief provided there. I'm told at least on an average, one new GCC per week was set up in the year 2024. The similar number is expected this year as well. Now, that's not going to be enough for me to quote the number, but what are we doing to make sure that number grows and not comes down? So that is one thing which we need to put before you. Approximately 50% of all Fortune 500 companies have set up their GCCs in India. Was the data I thought I was going to give you, but I've already heard 2/3 are not here. So yes, we'll have to see where the ground is and be more inviting of the rest of them to come here. And they employ together, all the GCCs in India employ nearly 2.16 million professionals. And the CAGR at which it has grown is 11% over the last 5 years. And this number of 2.16 million is expected to go to 2.80 million by 2030. And I guess this is a very conservative number. And what does the GCC sector contribute to India? $68 billion as direct gross value addition. That is around 1.6% of our national GDP. By 2030, the gross value addition from GCCs could potentially range between $150 billion to anywhere $200 billion. So that's the scope we have before us, the potential that we can see.